And welcome back to the last of the month, and we'll be taking a break for the foreseeable month because if you've read the community tab, you know what the schedule is now of the Quirk series. We'll get back to it. Don't worry, it's just month on, month off kind of thing. And this one is, we've been going through all our shonen protagonists recently, so let's just get to another one. Hi, I'm Son Goku, and I'm in My Hero Academia. Want to know what my Quirk hero name is? Goku. Now, this one I actually thought I like the idea of this quirk I got here. So, it's hard to do certain Dragon Ball Z characters with quirks because a lot of them are just capable of doing variations on the same shit. Flying, ki, super speed, all that kind of stuff. But there are unique traits to all the characters. So those are the things that I wanted to look at when doing a My Hero character, or variant of the character. And so, the quirk we have here would be called Were Monkey. And his hero name would be Monkey King, or Sun Wukong, or Sun Goku. But what it is the user's physical abilities would all be enhanced, and he would have the physical traits of a monkey. Granted, he wouldn't be fully covered in fur or anything like that. He'd probably have a little bit more hair on his arms. Maybe he would even have some mutton chops, something like that, like Sun Wukong would. But what he would have the tail, however. And what it would be is that it'd be kind of like Miruko's rabbit quirk. He'd have all the physical enhancements that the said quirk would allow for him. So he'd have the enhanced speed, the enhanced strength, the enhanced agility, the reflexes, the athletic capability. He would have all these things. I would even go so far as to say he could have the foot thumb, so he could grab things with his foot. But what this would ultimately lean towards as a hero is that he might be one of the most dangerous martial artists on the planet in My Hero, because he could fight not just like a human, not even just like Goku, but like a monkey. Like his tail could be so strong he could balance on it. It could act like a fifth limb. He could balance on his tail and fight literally. A perfect example would be if you remember Kim Possible. There was a character that was actually like this. Granted, that was through surgical procedures he did on himself, but the point is still out that is kind of the character we'd be looking at just on Goku. A physically powerful, again, very similar to Miruko individual who has the agility of the animal whose quirk he emulates. Of the animal whose quirk emulates. As well as having the tenacity and probably the clever aptitude of it as well. Now, in terms of a weakness in quirk, there'd be one big one, but more importantly, I think one of the things is that Goku, just like Goku, he would have a very large appetite. Like he burns a lot of calories when he's doing his hero arc, so he has to eat a lot. But there is a catch, because it is called Were Monkey, which means if the user were to stare at the full moon, they would turn into the Ozaru. So now, granted, I don't see a giant kaiju-sized Ozaru, but like 3-4 times, as we've seen with some characters in My Hero, these more bigger heroes or villains. And we do have some characters like Gigantomachia or Mount Lady who could get that big. But honestly, I think it'd be something a bit more like like the sludge monster size. He'd still be able to destroy buildings, run amok, all that. So that would be a severe downside. And no matter what, even when we get to the evolved state of the quirk, he is unable to stare at the moon, unless he's able to go into his full evolutionary form of the quirk. Which, let's talk about if the quirk evolved or quirk awakened. If his quirk awakened, this would be, in essence, the controlling of the Ozaru, the compressing, the maintaining, the regaining of his mind of the Ozaru form, which will result in a physical transformation of, you guessed it, Super Saiyan 4. And for what it's worth, I like the idea of his hair going red. I'm just saying. I've always liked the Gogeta design a lot, actually. And this comes from a guy who immediately says he likes Super Saiyan 4. By the way, we have no idea if the rest of Super Saiyan 4 is just as hairy as his chest. His legs might be hairy as hell. But yeah, the idea would be that because of like with Ozaru, the power is a 10 times increaser on his base. So he's a lot more powerful than Ozaru, but far more uncontrollable. It would take someone like All Might or like a pro hero to put him down. But if he were to gain control over it, all that power is now compressed in his normal size, and he takes on this hairy ape form. Now, while in this ape form, like I said, a 10 times multiplier on everything he can do. He can probably even like do an All Might where he moves so fast and hits so hard they could maybe even create a shockwave. But more importantly, he's no longer burdened by his full moon effect. Furthermore, this would not be the form he's constantly in. This would act like a transformation. So when Goku is out of this form, he goes back to his base form. But as long as he focuses and concentrates, he can turn back into this form. The catch is, in base, he's still affected by the full moon. And he can still inadvertently turn into the Ozaru if he's not careful. That's why this quirk would actually require a lot of training. Fortunately, once he has access to the Super Saiyan 4 form, we'll call it, he could just use that as a transformation. That would be his transformation. He can just go in there anytime, but he would still have to access it after. The only way to access it would be to turn into Ozaru and, control his quirk after a while. Regain his control and maintain his more humanoid form. But beyond that, the only other thing I can see is that this would probably burn out his metabolism quite a bit. So he would be like super hungry, super weakened after using it. So yeah. And I could even see a little bit of a Zenkai thing being thrown into this quirk, where after like a severe beating, he does come back stronger than before, faster, all that. His physical enhancements happen. It could be a side effect of the quirk. Either way, this is the quirk that I have for Goku in the My Hero Academia world. It's been a long day. But what do you think? Do you like this quirk? Would you do something different for this quirk? What would you do for Goku? By the way, I have another Dragon Ball Z character on the list, but we'll wait for a while down the line for that. Let me just say, not every quirk that's going to show up on this list is going to be a very good quirk, because there are a bunch of crap quirks out there. Like I didn't get any named quirks, but there's someone who had like just long fingers. That was one of Bakuto's like classmate chums. There's other people like, hey, I can detach my head, or hey, my head can retract into my body. They were actually a member. They were in the license exam, if I remember correctly. So yeah, not all these quirks are going to be great. But until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you folks for the next one. See you later.